Hey booktubers, it's the Hufflepuffer here, and today we're going to be covering... Yes, let's go. The first thing that you want to do before watching this survival guide video is determine whether the book you're about to read is going to be feelsy. If you've read other books in the series and they've been feelsy or have been leading up to something that looks like it's going to be feelsy, your book is most likely going to be feelsy. If you've read other books by that author and they've been feelsy, your book is most likely going to be feelsy. If you've seen reviews in all caps or with lots of crying emoticons and fangirl phrases like I can't even and OMG HHKP and then it's most likely going to be feelsy. If it's a YA book, it's most likely going to be feelsy. If it's a book, it's most likely going to be feelsy. It's a book by Rick Riordan, J.K. Rowling, Alexandra Bracken, Cassandra Clare, Suzanne Collins, John Green, or God forbid, Veronica Roth. It's going to be feelsy, so just, yeah. Now that you've determined whether your book is feelsy, you're ready to continue with the video. If you've determined your book is feelsy, keep on watching. If you've determined your book isn't feelsy, what book are you reading? Step 1 to surviving a feelsy book is having the essentials with you at all times. And by that I mean stuffed animals, food, and Kleenexes. And make sure you're wearing something comfy when you're reading your feelsy book, like sweatpants or pajamas. Onesies are my favorite. They're great. And you're in a comfortable position. This will minimize the amount of extreme stress you go through while reading about feels. After you read the book, you're going to want to have a bunch of adorable, cute contemporary reads without feels, or, well, with good feels, like, yay, feels, like, yes, I'm so happy with these feels, because it's so fluffy and cute. So, basically, Rainbow Rowell or Stephanie Perkins is basically all you're gonna get, but, have them on standby, because you're probably going to need to read one after you read the feelsy books, which means you're probably going to be reading Anna and the French Kiss a lot. I don't know what else to tell you. When reading a feelsy book, be sure to avoid all types of internet. It'll only maximize your pain, so avoid it. Especially the fan art and the edits and the videos. The videos are the worst. Don't ever go looking on YouTube for emotional videos of your feelsy book. Just don't. Don't do it. Especially if there's a movie. A good movie. Like Percy Jackson, like the movie. There's no videos about the movie, let's be honest here. We don't talk about the movie. Or the official artwork. Anyway. Avoid internet. Just avoid it all. All of it. Bad. Especially if it's a new book and you don't want to be spoiled. Avoid it. Avoid the internet at all costs while reading your feelsy book. Find a friend or some random person on the internet who's read the book and put them on speed dial. So if you're going through a feelsy section in the book, you can just call them and rant and fangirl. And yes. After you've read the book, especially if there's loose ends or bad endings, resort to writing or reading fanfiction that resolves such loose ends and bad endings. Avoid smut. Avoid it at all costs. It'll just avoid it. It'll scar you for life. But the loose end emotional fanfiction that ties together those loose ends and fixes those horrible endings that the authors love to leave us on will be your friend. Or you can write it too. If you have a very specific thing in mind, write it. It helps. Write it out. Even if you're not a writer, just write out what you think it should be and leave it at that. And it helps a lot to get out your feelings onto a page. Get them out. Rant to friends online as well is very helpful. After you finish reading the book, that's when the internet becomes helpful. That's when you can find people in the same fandom and just rant to them about things that made you have feels in the book. It's very nice to be able to rant to someone about it. And last helpful tip for surviving a feelsy book is make a booktube channel. Get your feelings out in a video, post the video, send your feelings away. It'll help. Come join the fandom side. We have emotionally traumatized psychos that spend all their time on the internet and never go outside. Sounds so appealing, doesn't it? Unless you want to be screwed deep into the fandom life forever, then go right ahead, knock yourself out.